Each morning, real setups are broken down with entry strategies and technical reasoning behind every trade. This is today's best trade setups with Verified Investing.
Welcome to today's best trade setups. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at Verified Investing. The S&P 500 or the SPY is facing some key critical resistance levels. A lot of stocks are pushing up. There are stocks that are getting beaten up, so I'm going to go over both the short levels and some potential long levels if they get into those levels going forward. First one I'm going to cover, my favorite is ORCL. Let's go ahead and jump into the charts of Oracle real quick. Here's the chart of Oracle. So today, on the 5th of February, I was mentioning 140 and then 136, and then we had this huge bounce on ORCL. Now, for me, if the first level of resistance is $172.80, if we can get up into that level, based on the fact that Oracle has respected support and resistance levels in the past, $172.80 is where my shortable level is for a day trade. I still think Oracle has a lot higher to go, but this is a great opportunity for us to enter a short trade. Now, if it comes back in, I still like this 140.72 and then this 136.56, and then ultimately 131.41 are my key support levels that Oracle has to maintain above, and then we can continue this push to the upside. Again, if we start coming back in, though, I still like these as support levels. Let's take a look at LITE. So LITE is a stock that I've actually had to turn on logarithmic charts in order to see where the next level of resistance is at. So for me, now that it got up close to the $600 whole round number and got a decent pullback, actually got back all the way back down to about $530, and now we're kind of trading a little bit higher in the pre-market. 625.27 is that first shortable level. And on the logarithmic chart, as you can see, you've got this pivot high right here from the 13th of August. And then here's second hit, 10th of September, third hit right here from the 10th of December. Look at how every time you've gotten a decent pullback from that level. So I think that if you get up to 625.27 or even a little bit higher, maybe it's about $646, would be my max upside today, 646.44. Again, I'm going to start shorting this at about 625.27. I still think LITE is due for a decent pullback. It is doing some price consolidation, so just kind of be careful on this trade. AMD had this nice bounce off this long level, 194.28. If we head higher, $242.11 is that key resistance level. If we drop back in, if we start selling off, 194.28 will be some support. But ultimately, I would go long at 184.08 on the price of AMD. So the S&P 500, I was mentioning that we're into some key resistance. So as you can see, you had this red bar candle right here. As you can, every time that it's gotten up to this high pivot point, it's gotten rejected. And now we got back above it, or got to it yesterday, $697.11. If we start breaking this, or when we start breaking this, you are going to reattack the $700 level or hit the $700.17 level. And that would be, for me, what I'm expecting, a breakout above this, and then a rejection right here at $700.17. So this is where my shortable level is. This is going to be basically your line in the sand. If you start consolidating right here, you are going to push higher. However, if we start getting a rejection here and start taking out some of these pivot lows, then we're going to start heading higher on the S&P 500. Right now, we're kind of trading in this range between $676.57 and $697.11. This could be a bull trap, so watch for that. Again, my shortable level today, $700.17. Nvidia, I had mentioned that had this nice upsloping trend line. I said if it got back above it and confirmed inside of it, or back inside of that upsloping trend line, you could see further upside. We haven't confirmed. We have broken back inside of it or above this upsloping trend line that I have in the charts. It just hasn't confirmed a breakout to the upside. However, I do have some key shortable levels on the chart of Nvidia. So here's this trend line I was mentioning. This goes back to the pivot lows of 7th of April, 2025. Second hit, third hit, fourth hit, finally got a breakdown. I was mentioning about $191 would be that rejection level. It did get a slight rejection. However, it's getting a nice bid to the upside today, and it's trading at $192. So for me, my shortable level is this gap in the charts right here at $199.05. this is going to be a key level to watch. This is where I'm anticipating a pullback. Now, because we haven't confirmed above it, it could hit this level and then actually start trading a little bit lower. They do have earnings next week. No, not next week, the week after. So, all eyes are going to be on Nvidia, and the market's going to be on Nvidia for those earnings. But ultimately, 199.05 is that shortable level for today's trading action. Amazon had a nice bid off this $200.97 level. Now we're coming actually back in. So this $200.97 level is off of the table. What I'm looking for is 197.85 for a small bounce on AMZN. But for me, for the live day trading room, I'm looking at 193.06. If we can start flushing these support levels, it's heading down to 193.06. And that's where you're going to have a pretty sizable bounce on the chart of AMZN. INSP is another stock that's been down. In the pre-market, it traded as low as $58.10. This to me, because it hasn't had a significant bounce, as you can see, it's trading at $59.25, just over a dollar off of the pre-market lows. For me, I'm anticipating a break of this $58.10 level, and then you've got to zoom way out in the charts to find this gap fill right here from the lows of April 2020 at $54.92. $54.92 is that long level for me. If and when INSP does flush this $58.10 level, that should be a pretty key support level for INSP. The QQQ not marching up quite like the SPY is. It's got this wide range red bar candle. For me, this is still a good entry level for a potential swing trade. If it starts closing above that, you are going to march higher. So for me, the day trade level, though, for me is $628.33. This is where I'm looking to short the QQQ on a push up above $616.52, knowing I've got additional resistance at $632.08. And then on a swing trade basis, you've got this upswing trend line. It could head all the way back up to $645, and that would be an additional level to short. And this would be a swing trade level based on this rejection of this upswing trend line. Confirmation below, this would be a retrace to the scene of the crime. PAYC, another stock that's kind of like INSP, we're staying relatively weak. Look at this. Pre-market low was $104.06. We're less than $1 above that, so less than 1% above that. That means that paychecks or PAYC is staying weak. So now I'm anticipating a break of this level. You should get some support here at about $100 even number, but for me, $95.41. If you zoom way out in the charts, you've got this low pivot in this area, wide range green bar candle. So $96.78 is where I'm looking to pick up PAYC for a day trade. APP also had a nice move to the upside. And now we're coming back in. APP is struggling. So $406.72 is that first gap in the charts. This is an aggressive level. I would not be interested in playing this until a pierce of $375, and ultimately $374.54 is going to be another gap in the charts. And this is the first level that I'd play. And I would be looking for about a $6 to $7 bounce off of this level on APP. And the reason I like this level is because I know I've got this low pivot sitting right here at $360.63 as additional support. The reason I don't like the 406 level, even though it should favor, it does favor a bounce, I want additional downside. I want that basically a rubber band effect to pull this really tight before a snapback and have the buyer step in and bid this to the upside. MU is a stock that's heading higher in the pre-market. For me, my first shortable level is $442.16. I don't necessarily anticipate it getting all the way up to that level, but that would be the first aggressive level. And for me, I'm shorting this at $446.47 in the live day trading room. Again, knowing that I've got $455.50 to the upside if it wants to head up a little bit higher. And then last but not least, SanDisk. SanDisk traded as high as $647.15 in the pre-market. Aggressive short levels are $653.92. For me, I am waiting for a nice move to the upside. for me, my shortable level here is $695.51. Look at how much room. If you can get all these buyers who were stuck in this out of this, you are going to have a nice rip to the upside. And a stock like SanDisk can really move to the upside. Right now, we're only trading up about 7%. It doesn't seem like a lot, but SanDisk can move as much as 15 to 20%. And so for me, my shortable level is 695.51. All right. So thank you guys for joining me today on this Thursday morning, February 12th. Drew Dosick is going to be going live talking about the key $7,000 level. Could be a potential bull trap, setting up for a continued fall in the markets. This market is getting overextended. We don't have a significant amount of buyers stepping up to drive the price higher. And so we do anticipate a further move to the downside once some of this euphoria kind of wears off. So you guys don't want to miss that. He's got a lot of great information for you. And that's what I have for you guys. If you guys are getting something out of this, please make sure you're liking, following, subscribing, and sharing with those friends so that way they can get the same market information that you are getting. So with that said, you guys have a great rest of your day and take care.